Welcome back to the Foundman Podcast, guys. I just kind of forgot as we started recording that we're actually like recording this on camera right now. Hi, guys. We don't know how to act right now. Episode 11. We're gonna have a bunch of new changes. We have got producer Corbin here with us.
Howdy, y'all.
So shout out to Corbin. We've talked about him a little bit, being our tech guy behind the scenes, but he is now full blown producing. We gave him a really fat salary to do this.
It's coming. It's coming.
They're gonna pay me very wealthily.
Just zeros on top of zeros. Looks great.
In time with us.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of zeros, yeah.
Yeah.
It
was definitely a lot of zeros. I don't know how many other numbers.
That's why we need you to share the podcast and get people to follow us and rate us, and we can do
everything.
Ads. So we can pay Corbin.
We're super. Yeah.
They need to buy me my dog food. My dog food.
Your dog food?
My dog food, yeah. Because y'all keep me in the basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you meant since you babysit.
He's the boy in the basement.
Yeah, they're not forcing me.
We need to feed our boy here. So yeah, if you guys just share it around.
Yeah, man.
Get us out there.
So, like I said, a bunch of new stuff for this episode. We're gonna be on video. We've got Corbin behind the scenes. Probably gonna have some new logos, cover art going for the podcast as far as what you see on Spotify and everything. This might be season 2. We haven't fully decided how that's going to work yet, but we're here and we're doing it. So I guess really what we need to do right now is get rolling into our trivia, which with Corbin here, he's actually going to be asking Austin and I trivia now instead of us two asking it to each other.
That's right.
So yeah, Corbin, we're ready for you, even though you're chasing the cat around behind the scenes.
Yeah. Not sponsored by Palmer, but that's the website we're using today. The trivia questions are from the topic of 208 very best Bible trivia questions. Sorry. Let's see. Now, are y'all looking for a specific topic or just like
you're shooting it, man? Yeah,
Okay.
you're giving us a question. Scroll through there, throw a dart at a board.
Yep.
Let's go. True or false? To look forward to something God has promised is majesty.
I feel like this is going more down like verbiage. To look forward to something that God has promised is majesty? No. I mean, it's true or false? Yeah, it's going to be false. Because that would be like looking forward to something is more like hopeful.
Is it a true or false?
Yeah.
Question? Okay.
Yeah, so it's not majesty.
No, it's
hopeful. Like,
faithfulness?
It's either faithfulness or hopefulness.
It does look like a vocab question.
Yeah, it's more like vocabulary. But yeah, I would say false thing because that's being like hopeful, faithful, not like majesty.
That is, give me just a second. That is actually the exact answer. It says hope means to look forward to something that God has promised.
Magic.
Okay.
So
Not magic. Magic doesn't exist.
Yeah.
you hoped it was the right answer.
Yeah, I hoped it was the right answer.
Yeah.
I looked forward to the fact that God put that answer in my head.
Exactly. Yeah. Downloaded it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess from there we'll roll into praise reports. What you got this week, man?
So praise report. So pretty much all my praise reports from here on out until December are going to be school related because the human body is my life now. And I'm just like, I'm loving it, every minute of it. And
in a good way.
Learning about it. Yeah. And, but this Saturday, tomorrow, I have my first fire clinical. It's going to be a 12-hour shift at Station 21 in Castleberry. And I am like excited, doesn't even describe it, like the feeling. So I'm going to be, getting a firsthand look of what I'm going to be dealing with as a firefighter once I graduate from Fire Academy and hopefully put what little skills I have to use. I don't know what to really expect because every station handles interns differently. So I'm very excited to, just see what I can do, just like what I'm going to see.
So it sounds like you're gonna have a plastic red hat on and be scooping, scooping
my
spots
coworker
poop.
said that.
you're literally gonna be scooping like the Dalmatians poop.
It's gonna say
fire
chief
department.
on the plastic hat.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh man, yeah, I'm just gonna be cleaning out the back of the rescue, all the blood and everything. So I'll be doing the dirty work for
so
sure.
gross.
But yeah, hopefully I'll get time to study because got a big test coming up next Wednesday. So, but yeah.
That's gonna be good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope you have fun scooping poop tomorrow.
Thank you. What about you, brother?
So praise report for this week, man. Over the past week, let's see, what do we got? I mean, it sounds silly, but dude, the fact that it has not been raining every day has been great. My second job is umpiring slow pitch softball, for those that don't know. That's how I make like extra cash. And literally for like 3 to 4 weeks, every single day that I was supposed to umpire, which is Sunday, Mondays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, every one of them got rained out for 3 weeks or more, and I lost a lot of money because of that. So I was stressing a little bit, but hasn't rained. Got some games back. Actually picked up an extra day on Wednesdays right now with Seminole County over at Red Bug. So just glad that God's given us a little break, even though apparently we have a hurricane heading towards us. So.
Do we really?
Yeah, there's some like system building in the Caribbean right now. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
one of the spaghetti models has it like slam in Florida. So
Not only that,
gonna be fun.
but apparently one of the models, actually a few of them, it's gonna be a Cat 5.
yeah, I did see that it was supposed to be like a major hurricane.
So they say that until it makes landfall, and then it just slows down.
And then it's a
to
tropical
Cat
depression,
3.
and all the toilet paper from the store is gone.
Yeah.
Well, it only weakens when the eye hits, but the bands are gonna hit us like 2 or 3 days before the actual hurricane does.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have like a lot of rain.
Yeah. Though most of them I saw were going. What was the hurricane that came last year that slammed like right at the Panhandle, like where it curves down?
Oh, I forgot. I have no idea.
I just remember Ian because my neighborhood got flooded, and I rode my bike in waist deep water. That
I
was
definitely
fun.
remember Ian because that was before I was saved, and I loved doing disaster relief stuff, but the only organization that would take me back then, because that was 2021.
Yep.
So that wasn't even technically post-COVID. That was like during COVID restrictions, and the only organization that would let me go serve was Samaritan's Purse, the Christian organization. So without having like COVID vaccines or anything like that.
Yeah.
So they I ended up going with them. I went down, like, this was again well before being saved. And I went with a bunch of Christians down to Fort Myers, like where a lot of the major stuff was at. And I mean, I saw some horrible things, but did get to help spread some good things and assist people that really needed it. But it was definitely interesting. I would say that was definitely one of the events that helped start pointing me in the past few years towards following Christ, was because I went to that. There was prayer and Bible verses talked about every evening when we would get back from working all day, like, because I went down there for like a week and a half. So
Oh wow.
yeah, but
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Just thank God for organizations like that, and and planting seeds for volunteers who aren't Christians.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was a good time to experience something like that. So, but yeah, so that was the last major hurricane that really came through and affected Central Florida in a significant way. So I'm curious to see how this next one pans out.
What's this one's name?
I don't think it
it's
has a name yet.
Gwen?
Gordon.
Oh.
It's Gordon.
I thought there was a G that just hit.
No.
No. Yeah, double check. Well, guys, while Corbin looks into our meteorology side of the
New
podcast,
segment in the podcast.
we're going to get started on our topic for tonight, which is, going to sound a little weird to some people. I think this is even weird for me with my background, because I didn't really have a lot of friends before Christ anyways. So anyone that I did use that term for was actually a friend. But I feel like nowadays I'm so much more social than I used to be because I'm filled with the fruits of the Spirit a lot more, which I feel like has made me become more of a social person. So now I understand that you do have to draw a line between who your friends are and who acquaintances are in life. So that's kind of what we're going to talk on tonight. Both of us don't feel like this will be too long of a topic anyways, for our first video one, but this was just something I think that we could definitely, especially, I feel like we go back to novelty a lot right now with any topic that we bring up, but it's such a good starting point as far as being a novelty and what we're able to see and do in there, and the topics that it's able to give us, because of the fact that we walk in there and there is a group of us that are what I would consider friends, like actual friends that we can rely on in life. And then there's also a good amount of people in there that we have all come to know, but we have to kind of draw that line in our heads and make sure that they do just stay acquaintances in our life.
Right. Yeah. Like the people that you like to still be around and, talk to. But yeah, like the line you were saying, as far as like serious advice that we benefit from biblical standpoint. And, usually like, they'll just like shoot the crap with them and, hang out. But, like a true friend is like somebody that you can come to with real life problems and they'll be able to help you out, from a godly and faith-based point of view. Basically found men, why that even started,
Yeah, exactly.
Holding each other accountable and being able to just come to one of the guys with like anything,
So I think two things that we could really talk on to make it more specific is, what are the differences between having a friend and an acquaintance, and then why is it okay to have those acquaintances in our life?
Mm-hmm.
And like what is kind of and then I guess the third would be is, what is the filters that we need to use to make sure that someone is supposed to be a friend in our life, not an acquaintance? Like those things that we can help, again, basically disqualify people from being or someone that we call friend.
And then how some of the acquaintances can turn into friends.
Yeah,
into
100%.
Said friends.
Exactly. I think a good thing that you brought up and where I'd want to start at is our theme verse for our group, which is Found Men, the whole podcast name and everything, which we got on our wristbands, which we actually have a camera now, so I can show that.
I was hiding my wrist because I didn't wear mine.
It's fine. Found Men, and the theme verse came from Craig, actually. He was the one that ended up picking this one and suggesting it, and everyone liked it. But Proverbs 17:17, and as far as that goes, in NLT translation is, a friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in a time of need. So I feel like two things right there. Those two things kind of encompass what the intention of Found Men Group was for, and that was for a friend to truly and honestly be loyal to each other in the times that we desperately need it, and in the time and have integrity when our backs are turned. Like I don't want to question when you're out of the room if you're actually my friend. I don't want to question that the other guys in our group
right
have actually become my friends when I'm not around them. And that's honestly how I used to spend a lot of my time and a lot of my thought processes when I did think about my friends before. It was like, oh, are these people like actually my friends, or can I actually trust them, or what are they saying about me now that I'm out of the room? Right. Those feelings don't really come up anymore. And then that next part is, a brother is always there to help in a time of need. And that's something that I feel like we've spoken on it a few times, is this group has already done so many times, as far as I mean, simple months ago when Rich let me stay in his place because I needed a place to crash for like a week or so, and he let me
Right.
stay there a week. I've had like you and Keith show up at Novelty at midnight because I was breaking down because of the situation that was going on between me and Emily. You guys showed up, were there in a time of need, but not only were you there, you kind of did what you mentioned earlier too, was accountability. You didn't just show up, coddle me, and tell me like, oh, everything's gonna be okay. It was like, hey dude, things can be okay, but you need to do these actions. Like, it's not just gonna magically snap your fingers, be all right. So I feel like that's a big thing to start on right there, is as far as like what a friendship actually looks like compared to what acquaintances look like.
Right. Yeah. It's like you got to have your 2 a.m. crew. Like, who can you call 3 a.m., you know, with anything, you know, like something might be happening, you know, like when Emily went to the ER because, you know, she had the scare and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, ready to just be with you all night. And you were just like, no, you can go home, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. It's like,
Yeah, what I think that was like episode 5 or something that we were getting ready to record.
yeah, that's right. We were about to record.
Yeah, it was me,
Yeah.
you, and Devin were hanging out, and it was literally like phone call. Hey, we're on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
And
In which everything's fine.
yeah,
But
everything is fine. This is months later actually since that happened, but
yeah, having that core foundation in like your friend group, that's essential, because I mean, all my friends, you know, that from before I was a believer, you know, I still talk to a couple of them maybe, and I consider them my friends because they aren't all they are, even though they're not believers, they still won't, like, they'll put it to me straight, but there's still a lack of the biblical advice and like the biblical standpoint.
yeah.
And I feel like that's, like, especially in our faith, like, that's super important to have, because it puts it in a completely not worldly point of view.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like that is the difference of biblically who is allowed to become your friend and who has to stay an acquaintance until they share those same points of views and until they're letting like God lead their life, until they are following Christ. It's hard to say that, especially I feel like coming from both of our backgrounds, since both of us have plenty of people in our lives that knew us before we were following Christ. So, and those were our friends. But the definition of that relationship in my mind had to completely change to where it's like in my head, this isn't something that I'm going to go like tell this person like, hey, sorry, you're not my friend anymore because you're not a Christian. It's not, it's more so the thing that I have to keep in my head of like, okay, I do care about this person. They've been a part of my life, but they are not going down the path that I need to be going down. So I now have to keep them at arm's distance.
Right.
I can lead in a way that I like shows that I follow Christ, so that hopefully they begin to follow that path as well, and then we can regain that close connection of friendship. But I have to keep you at arm's distance right now because you're not following the same faith and you could lead me astray.
Right. And back to what you were saying about, like, you know, just like usually, like, when I was a new believer, I was afraid that I was going to have to tell my friends, hey, you know, I can't hang out with you as much. But I didn't. It just kind of happened, like God, not on its own, but God just weeded those people out. And it's not like I have bad blood with them or anything.
Yeah.
Some of them were just kind of like, oh, he's a Christ follower now. You know, I'm a Satanist, so I can't really like relate with this person anymore. So they just kind of like went off, like kind of like fell off, you know. but I didn't have to like make those awkward confrontations that you think like, oh man, I'm gonna have to like go and tell my friends, yeah, I can't hang out with you anymore, you know. So
Yeah, exactly.
My GoPro died.
Oh, the GoPro died?
Yeah.
dang.
I can plug it in and just set it back up. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, that's fun.
So what does that mean? Is our audio on pause or what?
No, y'all can keep talking.
We can keep going. All right.
I'll just slice the video back in for when I get set back up.
Okay.
Oh, so we're just gonna.
Yeah, y'all are good.
You're just gonna cut this part of the audio right now.
No.
No, this is all part of it.
No, I think
Yeah.
you should.
No, this is good.
Why?
This is healthy. This is good
It's
content.
the first time.
So
It's
okay, well I'm waiting on you to plug it in.
Okay.
What time are we at real quick?
We are at 20:44.
Okay. But yeah, so God just kind of like just helped avoid that awkward thing and then just put new friends into my life. You know, like I remember when I was looking for small groups and I was like, found men, what's this? I was like, oh, this guy has the same name as me. That's weird. And I was like,
Spelled better.
okay, yeah, spelled, yeah, quote unquote better. New age, woke.
That's my ego.
You have the woke spelling. But so they, then just I was hooked. I was like, these guys are genuine. These guys are the real deal. You know, I can see myself being friends with these guys. So yeah, it is God works all of it out. It really does. You know, with your friends, and then kind of leaving those other friends from before like as acquaintances, so you can still like see them and still hang out with them, have a good time with them in a healthy way, not in the ways that we used to.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's where the line is, you know.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that makes it pretty clear is the fact that if they're not following the same path as you are, then you need to, at the bare minimum in your head, know and tell yourself that those people are not your friends anymore. They're acquaintances. They're absolutely people that you could influence and you could help lead towards Christ, and then they could, again, regain that friendship between each other. But at the end of the day, you have to stand strong in the fact that you cannot you cannot have a bunch of non-believer friends as your core group.
Right.
Like, yeah, those cannot be the people. I'm going to bring it back to like first week of Songfest. Your Waffle House crew, Jonas Brothers, Pastor Justin.
Yeah.
Like,
Waffle House Brothers.
Yeah, your Waffle House crew literally cannot be a bunch of non-believers, because it's not going to lead you down the path that you need to be at.
Right.
So then the question becomes, how do you handle that one-on-one with those people? And like us, where we're at right now with Novelty, with the people that are in there that we could and should consider at least acquaintances at this point, but they're not followers of Christ. So how are we supposed to manage like those conversations, like as we go in there?
Just kind of like keeping it light. It's just there's a few people in there that I would definitely feel comfortable talking to. I'm not gonna say any names, but for sure. But then there's also people that we've met and gotten to know that I would keep it casual. You know. But that's.
And as far as biblically, like at that point, our literally becomes discipleship.
Right. Because we talk about our small group to even the people that we consider acquaintances. Yeah, we talk about it.
We talk about our faith, like that they ask us questions as to why we do things a certain way, as to why we speak a certain way. Like, and that's kind of the whole point behind all this is if they're just an acquaintance, our job is to be a leader to them. And that is to live out our faith in our daily steps when they see us, not for show per se, because that's not real either. Like, I'm not doing it for show, but it's to show the genuine change that's happened in our lives and the genuine change that could happen in their lives as well.
Right.
If they do make that decision to follow Christ, if they're able to find and do the same things that we did.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. Because, yeah, that's what we're called to do, is to be fishers of men. And, yeah, just try to share it. You know, if they want to get closer and they want to know more, like a few of the guys in there, like, praise God. But, you know, if you have no interest in that right now,
Yep.
we'll keep planting seeds, and then maybe we'll let you in.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the other part too then becomes, for instance, I mean, we could both go back to kind of like you mentioned, the point of after getting saved, say that those old friends get weeded out. I want to give like a little bit of encouragement to maybe other men that are in that same situation. Like, the old friends are getting weeded out right now, but it's making them more and more alone. Like, what's your suggestion then for those that are going through that process of old friends are truly becoming old friends? What's your suggestion on how to find the new friends that you're supposed to have biblically?
Get community, join a church, because that's honestly I hate that it sounds so culty,
Yeah,
and everything, but you know, like you wouldn't be in AA and then try to like find friends at a bar,
yeah,
you know, especially in like, yeah, in recovery and stuff. Like, we're in recovery spiritually, so you gotta you know, meet people in a like-minded space, and don't just neglect your old friends, because I gotten some of my old friends to come to church with me,
yeah,
and to even consider the idea, and that's enough for me, you know, and to turn their lives around, obviously, like, and not you know, they're not like hardcore Christians or anything, but it helped them, and they're really appreciative of it, and help them walk a straighter path, you know, in their own lives. So I wouldn't just write people off because they're not believers, because there's a chance that they will want to, you know, get to know God.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the two big things there would be discipleship towards those old friends, not just letting them continue to live that lifestyle.
If they're still being destructive to themselves,
yeah, you can't like
I wouldn't
step in and be a savior.
I don't want to, you know, I don't want to watch that. Number one, you know, you can do all you can to try to help them get out of that, and if just nothing's working, then it's just kind of like, okay, then I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's just a matter of the lack of faith, I won't write people off.
Yeah. And then, like you said, gain community. So the ways to do that is going to be find a healthy, life-giving church that preaches all of the living word, not just parts of it.
Not just the feel-good parts.
Yeah, not just the feel-good parts, and also not just the law parts either, but both need to be
fire
there.
and brimstone.
The love of Christ and the law, both are important equally, and both need to be taught.
Yeah, there's a balance, yeah.
And then two, I mean, stating the obvious here, find a small group. Because again, that's what we are. That's what connected us to. That's what's connected multiple guys in our group. And it genuinely is what we're actually called to do biblically by God. We're supposed to gather in His name. We're supposed to find community. And that's going to give us the accountability that we've talked about that we need to stay walking on the path as well as we can. Obviously, at the end of the day, we know it's never going to be perfect. We're never going to get it all right. But we're at least going to be stepping towards that if we have good, healthy community and good, healthy friendships first. And then we start to gain, you know, the ability to disciple and to step into the world and truly teach those acquaintances in our lives so that they can then find the faith and rekindle friendships or even make new friendships because they have now found the faith and you've been a vessel for them. Because I mean, that's something that I even appreciate for people, man. Like in my initial small groups was their role that they played in me getting closer to God, and it's still really important to me now.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, it relates with like successful businessmen, like who's in their inner circle, people who are more successful than them. Same thing with your faith. People who are more mature in Christ. Yeah, those are the people, or people with the same goal to get to there, to get to that point of, you know, Christian maturity. Those are the people you want close to you.
Those two cliche sayings right there, while being cliche, are extremely important. The one of you're the sum of your 5 closest friends. So take that into account. Maybe 3 of your closest friends are Christ followers. If 2 of them aren't, you're still bringing yourself down.
Yeah.
Because your 5 closest aren't all Christ followers and aren't helping you step towards the better path.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, don't be the smartest one in the room.
Right.
Like, prefer to be the dumbest, prefer to be the one that can learn the most from all the people with experience in the room, and you're going to be going down the right path. And that's spiritually, that's like you're heading towards business and everything. Like anything you want to be in, do not be the best in the room.
Yeah, it's anything, athletic, sports, what have you. If you want to be, if you want to be the best in something, but
gotta be surrounded by the best.
You should want to be the best Christian first, though.
Yeah. Well, man, I think that's about all I really have on the topic.
Man. Yeah, that's all I got too. Are we back up with the GoPro?
Yeah, it's actually almost dead. For some reason, I think it might just be too hot.
Yeah, it could have overheated.
Yeah. Well,
But this is our first video podcast, so
we have no idea how this is gonna look.
Yeah.
We'll work out the kinks before next week.
yeah, Corbin's the wizard.
If it looks bad, blame Corbin, not us.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Corbin's
fine.
fault. He's getting a pay deduction.
Yep.
He owes us money now.
Yep.
That sucks.
Writing
that's
the
in the
debt.
contract.
Get some clarification on the whole naming thing. It doesn't have a name yet, but Gordon was last week out in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah. See, I figured there was just.
Oh.
This man took us all the way back to
You said
meteorology after we already took a friggin'.
You said major hurricane that hit us. It stayed out in the ocean. All right.
No, I just said there was one that already got a G name, so it should be an H, right? That's. Sorry, we were back
Does
to
it go-
meteorology.
Does it go alphabetically?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why there's also like Sandy. You're never gonna see another Hurricane Sandy because when it's like a major hurricane that does stuff like that, they take the name off the list. They're actually running out of some letters. I can't remember which ones, but
Yeah. Well, guys,
Yours.
that's all I got. Corbin, thank you for your meteorology input there. About 30 minutes late, but
We appreciate
Wait, my
you
turn.
being our producer today for
Yeah.
the show, man.
maybe not
Honestly.
your meteorology side of stuff, but your production side of stuff has been
Dude,
wonderful.
yeah, he's putting this thing all together. We really appreciate him.
it is no problem whatsoever.
Put
And
some
cat
extra
wrangling.
kibble in his bowl. Later.
Well, Austin, you got us, man.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week. Same time next week.
We think so.
God bless you.